Oh, and it's some thick tape for real.
They don't want you to get in. I'm scared. I'm convinced they didn't want you to have that. No.
Alrighty. So here it is. First unboxing from the channel.
Oh, this is pump. Y'all ain't got a clue what that is. Fuel pump.
So hopefully after this, the truck is gonna start prayerfully tomorrow. And I'll be able to get.
You put them in your zip?
Yeah. I'm trying to do everything I can by myself. I'm gonna powder coat all the stuff at his house.
You done drop the tanks?
I dropped the. All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, y'all, we got a banger today. I'm really excited for what we got going on today. All right, guys, so if you've already seen the previous clip that I put in the video, you know that we finally got what I've been basically waiting for months, almost a year, honestly. So this is the new fuel pump. So yeah, man, y'all already know what we're getting into. We're gonna go ahead and I messed that up. We're gonna go ahead and get the front fuel tank back under the truck. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it back up. It's gonna take a bit of work. It's probably gonna take me a little bit because again, this is full of gas, it's heavy. But yeah, we're gonna bolt it up. And then we're gonna get the fuel pump changed on it. And then we can see if this thing's gonna work. So yeah, I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna set y'all up on a tripod while I get this stuff set up and get everything ready. All right, so let's go. All right, guys, so we got the fuel pump dang, Lord Jesus, we got the fuel tank back in place, back where it's supposed to be, but obviously it's not hooked up to the truck now. So I know y'all probably asking, Juan, how you gonna get that thing on the truck? It's gonna take some time, persistent, and some elbow grease, really. I got a jack stand. Really all I can do is jack up the fuel pump to the truck and then strap it in place where it was. So that's what we're gonna try to do right now. So let's go ahead and get it to it. So it's amazing how like small things you don't even think of can sometimes be your issue. And you think it's something so crazy, so big. It's not all the time. Sometimes it's just small things. So let me show y'all what's going on. So basically I've been having trouble getting the fitment of the fuel tank. It's like just not getting in where it's supposed to be, right? So I'm just trying different things. I'm trying different fitments, trying different ways to get it in. So what my issue is, all right, see that's the strap, right? So in order for the fuel tank obviously to hang, it has to be strapped in. So the issue is that the strap, if you can see it there, it's not flattened out. It's not straightened. So that's causing it not being flattened out, it not being straightened. My fault, I'm back. But it not being flattened out and straightened, that's causing this issue. You see all that space that I'm missing from basically the bolt to the strap? Just because the bottom is not flattened out, I can't get this strap to get to the bolt because it doesn't have enough space. It doesn't have enough of that slack out. So what I'm gonna have to do is kind of beat this slack out so it straightens a little bit more. But it's amazing how, you know, you don't even know sometimes your issue is a lot smaller than you think, and you doing all this nonsense, all this craziness. I done put myself through all this work. I am so tired right now. I ain't even get to we ain't even get to the damn hard part, which is the fuel pump and wiring it yet. And yeah, so I gotta take a break and find a hammer. All right, y'all, and just like that, look at this. Just flatten it out a little bit. Boom. It's in the hole, so I can screw it in now, and then I can get the other side in. So let me get to like that, y'all. The fuel pump is in. It's amazing how crazy, I mean, the fuel tank, God, I keep switching up the words. The fuel tank is in. It's crazy how a problem so big is caused by something so small that you're just not thinking of. And you know, that's something I've learned a lot about, like even working on these trucks and stuff like that. So yeah, so we got it in. It's not going nowhere. The straps are pretty well strapped in. Yeah, it's not gonna move. So it's not exactly where it's supposed to be, but I'll worry about that later when the fuel tank is obviously not full of gas right now. But yeah, I'll worry about that later. So what we're gonna do now, yeah, you bet it, you guessed it, the moment I've been waiting for. We're gonna get this fuel pump switched out. So first I gotta take this locking ring off. I gotta take this locking ring off to make sure it doesn't I gotta take the locking ring off. I gotta clean around the edges so no debris or nothing goes into the gas tank first. But yeah, I gotta take this locking ring off. So I'm gonna start on that real quick. So y'all can kind of understand this, and let me see if I can, well, I can't zoom in. Dang. So I'm gonna show y'all what I've gone ahead and done. So a common issue with these fuel pump replacements, and when you try to replace a fuel pump, where I have a aftermarket fuel pump and not like the factory fuel pump, which would be Motorcraft, is the wiring harness. So for the new fuel pump, I'm gonna show you in a second. For the new fuel pump, this wiring harness is too small to fit into this. Like, it's just not gonna go. So this comes from the engine bay and is connected like that, and then the wiring harness, and then the harness goes into the fuel pump and connects to the fuel pump, which gives it all the electrical and then all that stuff that it's gonna need to work, obviously. So already this is not gonna fit in here. So I have to take off this wiring harness, and then they gave me a new harness, which I'm going to wire to this, and then this is gonna be able to fit in this, if you're following me. I hope you're following me so far. It's a lot explaining, I know. So this is now gonna fit in this, but I have to wire this to these. Look at it, you can tell it's not the same color. So it's not the same color, so I have to figure out how to wire this to the wiring harness. So what I have to kind of do is kind of see how this wiring harness is mapped up to match it to these. So I'm gonna have to match it to these, and then I'm gonna have to match this to that, which is going to be really hard. So I'm not going to get this on the first try, I know for a fact, but it's going to take a lot of time, trial and error, you know. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out, man. We're gonna have to figure it out. So what I'm gonna try and do is wire it first. I gotta get my wire cutters so I can cut some of the wires twice. Okay guys, so I found a guy that had a similar issue. He had a similar wiring to what my truck has. So this is what we found. So the black and white wire from the new harness goes to the black wire. The gray wire from the new harness goes to the red wire. The black wire from the new harness goes to the orange wire. And then the purple wire from the new harness goes to the blue and yellow wire, all those go to the truck. So I don't have them really tightly together yet. I'm gonna put like some electrical tape over them just to try them out for right now to make sure it works. But I did find something that may be an issue with the new fuel pump. I did find something that may be an issue. So this actually might not work and I might have to get a new fuel pump. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try it out first, because you know it doesn't hurt to try it at least. Doesn't have to try it, but I'm gonna try it out first. But there is a chance that this is not gonna work. So yeah. A lot of fuel came out. Wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. Obviously, it would make sense that obviously you have to have the fuel pump empty, but I didn't. So yeah. So this is the old fuel pump. This is the old fuel pump. The issue is I don't have this on this fuel pump. That's not there. So I'm worried that this is something you really need and that it's not going to cause, it's going to cause the fuel pump to fail. Hopefully it doesn't, because this one only has the sending line and return line. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. Only way we'll know is to figure out right now, see if it works. So I'm gonna get it wired up. So, oh, and then I want to show you guys something, because I mentioned it earlier in a different video, but I want to show y'all something. So remember I was telling you guys that with these older Fords, with the fuel lines, there's a specific way you kind of have to get the fuel lines off. You got to get a specific tool, and that's these. These are called fuel line disconnects. These are called fuel line disconnects. So with fuel line disconnects, what you do is you'll have your fuel line that comes from the truck and then goes to the tank. So this is my small fuel line, so I'll put it on just to show y'all. So y'all see that's locked, right? That is locked. That is not coming off, right? So you would have to get one of these fuel line disconnects. You would have to clamp that side on. You have to push, and then simultaneously you got to push the fuel line towards the tool, and then it's going to unlock it like that. You saw it was really locked, it wasn't moving, and then just simple as pushing, bam. It's really hard when it's been on there for a long time. Just now it was really easy, but it's really hard to get these off if they've been on for a long time. See, look, this one is just not deep enough. But yeah, like that, it's rough. It took me forever with both of these tanks to figure it out, but now connect all the harnesses to the truck, and we're gonna figure out if this joke is gonna work. We are gonna figure out if this joke is gonna work. Now, I do have a bit of a worry, because this being a dual free tank, I took out the rear fuel tank as well. So I took out the rear fuel tank. My fear is that fuel is going to go towards the fuel tank, and there's no fuel tank in it. There's no thing in it, if it works. So first off, you know, again, I don't know if this is going to work. Gotta figure it out. I'm about to clean up this fuel tank. I hope it's not leaking any fuel. I hope it's sealed very well. I caught most of the fuel in my drip pan, but yeah, I don't know if it I'm trying to see if this is sealed. I don't think this is sealed all the way, because I'm still getting drips. Yeah, it's not sealed. It's not fitting. The lock ring is not fitting. Oh, it might be. I might just be tripping and I gotta clean it some more. Nope, it's dripping. This sucker is dripping. Yep. So I'm gonna have to figure out something for that. I can actually see it because some of the parts of the locking ring is not locked in. It's locked in some places, but it's not locked in all the way in all places. So I gotta fix that real quick. Tripping. drip a little bit until I figure this out. Just locking the situation back. I think I got them all. I think so. I think they're all on there. All right, so I'm gonna try to lock it again, see if it works this time. All right, shit. It's still a few parts that are not locked all the way, I know. But I got it pretty good to where it's not gonna drip, I think. So I think it's good. If not, I'll just install the old fuel, the old locking ring, and it'll be okay. So yeah. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, it's not dripping at all. So that's good. That's it. All right, so I'm worried. I'm worried, y'all. I will say I'm worried. That fuel in there, look at that fuel in there. It's all bad. And I'm about to start this truck with all that bad fuel. We gonna see. We're really gonna see. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna be a good idea. This might be bad for the engine, but I want to replace the engine anyway. So let's go. Guys, so there you see it. So good news, the fuel pump is working. Obviously you could hear that it was trying to crank, it was trying to get some fuel into the engine, but it wasn't working. So here is probably what the issue is. Like I said, the fuel in that tank is 3 years old. That's it. That fuel is probably no good. So it's not going to be good for me to continue to try and pump fuel into that engine, because it'll probably mess it up more than I can even try and like fix right now. So what I am going to try and do, I am going to try and I'm going to buy a gas tank. I'm going to buy a gas tank. I'm going to buy like a 10-gallon gas tank and take the fuel somewhere to get it like recycled, and then come back and see if I can try and fix it later and see if it'll work and run next time. That's all I can do at this point. Like I said, it's trying to crank. The fuel is going. The fuel is no good. That's what I think. I can smell it coming out the exhaust. It doesn't smell very good. It looked really green and ugly. So yeah, I know that this fuel is no good. So we're gonna have to like do what I said. We gotta do what it do. We gotta change that. Gotta see if changing that fuel will fix something.
Like make the top side tough?
Yeah.